What we've realized is that home is more important than ever, and we need to be building homes that people want, that people need, and that people can afford. People say, well, will you need less office space because people are working from home? Or will you need more office space so you can create more physical distance for people, that people won't be, working so physically close to each other? And what will homes look like? The majority of what we're building is in the multifamily, whether it's condo or townhome. So what does that look like? Is it requiring an office space, more private space, more closed-in space for people so that you're not, we all went to this open concept. We're going to go back to maybe a bit of more of a closed concept. In certain municipalities, you can't have a bedroom without a window, so then you're perhaps wasting space. So can we create what we call borrowed light bedrooms? And maybe the bedroom is in the back and the office is in the front where the window is. So those are all the sorts of things we're looking at. And what does outdoor space look like? Perhaps buildings will need to go taller and so that you're creating more outdoor space rather than using up so much of the land. So many of the municipalities require amenity spaces inside where everybody can use them. Now, maybe it's better to have those creating more space for the individual in their own home rather than these shared amenity spaces like gyms or pools or common rooms. So those are the kind of things that I think we're all looking at, architects are looking at, and engineers. So on an annual basis in the pre-sale market, we usually release about 20,000 homes per year. In 2019, that was down to about 7,500, in large part because of a lot of the tax measures, demand side measures that the provincial government brought in, without bringing in any measures around supply to say, well, how do we encourage more homes? So now we're going to have a constrained market. In 2020 to date, we've only released 2,700 new homes, with not much anticipation of new homes being released in the fall. Although with the very strong sales in June, we may see some launches in the fall. So what does that bode for the long term? The demand is still there. There is pent-up demand that we're seeing as people stood off the sidelines in March, April, and May. And now we're seeing sales. We're having record sales in June and likely into July and I'm sure into August and September. But without any homes being available, what does that do to the long-term impact of prices and also construction? So if we're not releasing new homes, the new homes aren't going to be built. And what impact does that have on the economy long term? So I think provincial and municipal governments need to look very closely at what is happening, because immigration will continue. People will come back to go to school. People will still have children, get married, get divorced, move out of their parents' homes. The home demand is still there, but the homes are not being released or to be built. So that's a really big concern, both from in terms of, the overall availability of homes and what that does to price. And we know what that does to price is the prices take off. We saw that in 2008. And I fear that we're going to see a huge run-up in prices over the next 10 years. Well, the biggest issue is really around processing times at the municipal and provincial level. It can take 2, 3, 4, 5 years to get an approval for a housing development. We have a housing crisis today. And so if we go through the process of saying, all right, we need to start building a number of buildings, a number of homes, to go through the municipal approval process, as I said, can take 3 to 5 years. So we're 3 to 5 years away from even just the approval, let alone the 2 or 3 years that it's going to take to build. So we need to take a very big, hard look at how we approve homes in this region and even province-wide. And I believe that the province has a role to play in creating some form of incentives, tax breaks, even financial incentives, a bit of a carrot and stick to municipalities so that they can go through the approval process much quicker. The municipalities ultimately are creatures of the provincial government. I understand the provincial government does not want to weigh in at the local level, but that's where the decisions lie, is at the municipal approval process level.